Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. And crash. We'll just kind of let that sum up the launch of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. But all joking aside, right, the launch kind of sums up humanity a little bit. But this time we'll get it right. If we just, I swear, this time, we know that network issues are a thing, but this time, anyways, all joking aside, it's kind of funny that that's what we do. But then the other thing that we do is throw manpower and brain power at the problem and fix it. So all of this technology and what is available in the sim wouldn't be available if we weren't pushing the limits of what we can do with data storing technology, streaming, and access, right? So it's a double-edged sword. Take it or leave it. With it may come however you want to look at it. Is this a good thing for simming? Is it a bad thing? I happen to think it's a great thing because, yeah, we had some growing pains, but then out of the box, this area that you're looking at right here is New Hudson. It's an area that I fly in real life, and it looks phenomenal. The updated environment for the sim, this is all ortho and autogen, and it's rivaling the photogrammetry areas. So obviously, like right here gives it away. You can look down and see this yard. That'll be the next step for AI technology, right? To be able to process images like that and create the ground clutter. That would be cool. That's the area where photogrammetry has like a step up on this type of scenery, but otherwise it looks phenomenal. It looks real. The new trees, so this is nice. This is a field in November in Michigan in an area that it looks pretty good, in an area that I fly, and realistically it looks like this. So I've done practice auto rotations into this field. So yeah, the new trees look great on the ortho tiles and just how they're displaying. I'm impressed with the new scenery engine. It looks really good. I'm also really impressed with the updated flight modeling. There's subtly more going on. You can tell under the surface there's just little things are just happening right. So ground effect is there. I'm seeing that it's correct. I think a lot of people expect it to be more pronounced than it actually is. It really depends on the helicopter. That's another one of those things that I think is a leftover from DCS Huey, right? Everybody got used to that flight model at the beginning. It was just a great flight model, and it does a lot of things right, but it does a few things wrong. And I think the interpretation of VRS and how ground effect actually comes on are some of the biggest things that did a disservice to the community from that standpoint. But ground effect is working correctly in this sim. When I come in for a descent, it's arresting properly, and then you have to push it down the rest of the way, which is really how it performs. It's not this big giant cushion that you really feel, at least from my point of view. But the flight model is doing things better. Performance in VR is better. One of the biggest things that I didn't like before in 2020 was the trade-off in performance, and it struggled a little bit when yawing around the yaw axis, doing tail rotor control, rotating the helicopter. I would get some hiccups in performance that would cause it to be a little harder to fly, but that's gone. That's not present anymore. So the performance in VR was improved, and the visual quality is better. The lighting is better. So it's just the beginning, and these are default aircraft, and the default aircraft are on par with, if not better, at least in my limited experience of what I've gotten into so far. They're on par with, if not better, than some of the best payware aircraft from the last sim. So they're good. This R66, I'm very happy with it. There's a few things that aren't quite right. I'm still working out hardware settings and trying to get the throttle to work correctly. You can't put the guards don't move. They're just kind of there, like for the fuel levers. But for the most part, it's pretty good and pretty representative of the real thing. The sounds are really good too. The kind of whistle chop that you get, it's pretty indicative of Robinson's. It's pretty spot on. I was having a lot of fun with it just because the yaw in VR and how that was working was tracking so well that I was able to fly it so much easier. I was doing these quick returns and it responded properly to weight and inertia on how it slowed down at the top of the arc, allowing me to control it and come back down in a controlled manner. Right up to the point that I unloaded the rotor disc and crashed. So getting a little bit overconfident in what I could do with this helicopter because it was flying so good. And then there I unloaded it and then oops. Anyways, it put me right back in the air and I landed in this field, and this was a flight from the field back to Y47, New Hudson. Just looking at the scenery, enjoying this quick little flight in the R66, really satisfied with how close of a representation it is to the real thing. That's always subjective. A lot of it comes down to your peripherals, your system, your controls, but I don't have the top of the line system, but I got a pretty good system. I've got really good controls and running VR. All of that makes a difference to the realism and handling and control and how it actually feels. And with the setup that I have, this felt really good. There's always growing pains with the new sim. Nothing new. This has been happening since we've been simming. We get everything set just right and it's comfortable, and then they come out with a new sim. Obvious reasons, they're going to change the architecture and make it better. All of what's happening now would not be possible if it weren't for a new sim. But because they change things, it gives us some growing pains, and then we have to go and start readjusting our setup that we just finely tuned and got perfect. So we all get grumpy. Simmers are very, very hard to please. Jorg, Seb, if you watch this video, I would be tickled, but you guys are doing a good job. Feel proud of what you've accomplished. This is crazy as far as what we've had in simulation, what's been available to us, what's available now. This is good. This is the step in the right direction. And this is just scratching the surface of the new sim. It's great. Like that blade slap as I'm coming and slowing down. Just things are happening and it's subtle. And that might be where people that are actually in aviation can kind of understand some of these things with the sim and what's happening and what's not happening, and where people get concerned about certain things that may be something worth worrying about or may not be, but they made good decisions and they improved things in the areas that needed to be improved. They're listening to the hardcore simmers. We'll have to see how some of these other improvements stack up, shake out, however you want to look at it. I'm interested in the career mode. I tried to get the spray working. I had it set. Obviously, I was able to flip the switch when I was running through the field, but it's a field in November. I don't know if I didn't have the tank filled right, or if it's just not able to be active in free flight. Anyways, but so here, doing this right here was one of the things about the yaw and performance improvement. I have always struggled being able to do pirouettes with a helicopter down the line in the sim, just due to the lagginess of rotating the aircraft around the yaw axis, and a lot of sims have an issue with it. And lately the free OH6 and DCS has been great, and now I'm really impressed with the new dynamics with the helicopters in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. So yeah, it's good. We're going to have some growing pains to go through, but man, it's a step in the right direction. I am really happy and looking forward to what's to come. Be safe, be kind. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.